Hi everyone, I'm Miss Census, second grade teacher at Vogel Way.
And I'm Mrs. McGuire, the music teacher at Vogel Way Elementary School.
And today we're combining a lesson together to focus on how we could teach our students in a collaborative fashion with the lens of SEL, social emotional learning. So we have the Caring School Communities curriculum, and a lot of the traits talk about building empathy and understanding of other students. So we wanted to build upon that, especially during this day and age. And so we're starting with a lesson from Miss Smith and Miss McGuire.
Okay, so the first lesson is all about our emotions and feelings, and really just trying to get the students to recognize their emotions and how they're feeling, because sometimes they don't even realize what they're feeling and how their emotions are. And so we want to kind of just get them to become familiar with some of the different emotions. So you see, how do you feel today on the right-hand side? Happy, scared, angry, surprised, cheerful, sick, proud. So many different emotions that they can even just recognize and name. And then throughout the day, we feel many emotions. We have the students look at the chart and then decide how you feel today. We might have them raise their hand and ask them which picture they're relating with and which emoji they're relating with today. And then listening to music, seeing different colors or seeing different art pieces make you feel emotions as well. So we're going to start out with music and talk about a few different pieces that evoke different emotions. This first one is George Frederick Handel, and this one has a joyful, uplifting type of a vibe to it. If you're listening to it, you might feel that emotion. This next one, Orpheus in the Underworld, is an exciting piece. So if they were listening to this, I'd play an excerpt for them. They might feel some excitement when they listen to this piece of music. And then Adagio in G minor really sounds sad. It's slower, it has a totally different feel, and it evokes a sad emotion if they listen to it. And then Claude Debussy's Clair de Lune is a very peaceful and calm piece of music. It happens to be one of our art teacher's favorite pieces. And sometimes when we're feeling different emotions, we might want to play a piece of music that sort of lets us feel that emotion so we can sort of feel it and get it out. It's kind of cathartic. Okay, and then we move into art and how colors evoke emotions. And if you're drawing or if you're painting a particular piece and you want to evoke a mood, you might use different colors to evoke that mood. So we'll have the students look at the chart. For instance, black, you can look at black would be sophistication, power, mystery. Gray might be stability. And they can look around and we'll discuss all the different colors and the meanings of those colors to help evoke emotions in their artwork. And then they're going to look at some different artwork and see what some of the artists did in their pieces of work to show emotion in their pieces. Circus symbolizes fun and excitement by using bright and fun colors. Okay, and as you can see, this piece, Pablo Picasso's painting, The Tragedy, everybody's looking down, right? And the colors are very muted. There's lots of dark colors, and so that painting evokes sadness. This one, we might not tell them at first, but how does it make them feel? And it's evoking anger with all of the redness and the bold strokes and stuff like that. That is evoking some anger in that painting. And then this one is Claude Monet. It's really calm and a peaceful painting. So that might evoke that emotion if you're looking at that piece of artwork. Okay, and then in the lesson, we are going to ask them to apply what they learned. So they're going to draw a piece of art, really displaying how they're feeling today. And then they're going to use some of those colors in their painting or in their drawing to show the emotion that they're feeling. And they're going to pick a song that also goes along with it to inspire their work. A song that they would like, maybe if it's You Are My Sunshine, it might help with a happy feeling. If it was a soft, slow, and sad song, it may give them inspiration to draw a sad painting. So whatever they want to paint, they're going to have music playing while they're painting to inspire their artwork. Okay, and so then they upload the lesson, and then we can talk about it. If they're virtual and they're online, they can upload it to Seesaw, and then we and some of their other peers could comment on it. And if we were doing it in class, then we could maybe have each student come up and talk about their artwork, talk about what song they picked and why particularly they're feeling that emotion today. And then sometimes we can even talk about, did painting it and listening to the song, did it help them feel better?
And this all ties into working with our students to develop empathy. So, having an awareness of how they are feeling and also being able to identify that in somebody else to, again, start building empathy, being able to recognize those emotions, and also giving them strategies for what to do. So, with our Caring School Communities curriculum, we usually meet in a morning circle every day and talk about different strategies. So, this was a lesson focusing on emotions and recognizing those. So, there are several different emotions cards that that are given to the students, but we'll walk through them on how they are feeling themselves. When have they ever felt that way? So have you ever felt happy? We added some photos of our own kiddos to kind of get students to understand that a little bit better and to start recognizing it in other people's faces. So have you felt, we had happy, have you ever felt excited? Have you ever felt angry, sad, scared, or afraid? And so those are the main, those emotions cards are the main cards that we'll start on with students, and they are given a pack of cards with a friend or a partner, and they are going to choose as they pick a card out. If they pick the sad card, they talk about a time that they had felt sad. If they picked the mad card or the excited one, they're going to talk about one of those emotions that they felt. It doesn't have to be that day, it could be in the past, just to start being comfortable with sharing our feelings and talking about that. And so after they talk to each other, it would be a share time with the whole group to talk about what feelings they focused on, and then also start moving forward from what have you felt to when have you noticed someone else feeling one of those emotions. Now, when we see other emotions in other people, we want to pose to the students a question of how we can make our classmates feel safe and happy at school. So if you are recognizing somebody's emotions and their facial expression shows that they're mad or sad, maybe checking in with your classmates, or maybe asking the teacher for help if they're not noticing that that student is dealing with that emotion, just to, again, start these conversations with our students. Now, this would be potentially on the next day, looking at a different set of emotions, because we know they're not just sad, mad, angry, or excited. And so once we talk about these emotions, we want to know what is easier to talk about with students and what is harder to talk about with students. So, for example, it might be easier to talk about times that I'm happy. I might be able to talk about my son Charlie or Eddie and all the new things they're learning and doing, and that makes me happy. That's a little bit easier to talk about. Which feelings are hard to talk about? I can talk to students about when I'm frustrated. It's really difficult to express myself in words, and therefore it's actually harder to talk about later because I still feel like I haven't maybe been able to process. So allowing students to know that the way that they are feeling is okay, and that not always knowing exactly what to do is also okay, that we're building those strategies together. So these are some more emotions we have. Have you ever felt affectionate, disgusted, surprised, proud, frustrated? And then again, we have our lovely little models for our kiddos with all those wonderful emotions. And again, going back and talking to our students about what are some of the pleasant emotions and some of more the unpleasant emotions that you guys, that they talked about, and maybe examples of each of those as well. Another step we can do to give the students is to give them those sentence feeling prompts to keep practicing throughout the day. So I feel like this when, or I feel frustrated when this doesn't go right, or some things that make me feel happy are when I see my students trying their best, even if it's a challenging task. And so giving them phrases and also modeling those phrases with them so that it becomes more commonplace. So again, we wanted to tie this back into empathy and being aware of and understanding of the feelings of others. And then also continuing to bring it back and say, okay, what can we do if we feel this way, but what can we also do if someone else is feeling these different emotions? And so coupled together, we would do this alongside the music and art lessons so that all of those pieces are flowing so that they're able to have conversations with multiple teachers about empathy.
And Miss Insis and I were talking also, sometimes like the students have a hard time expressing them in words. So that's why it's so important to be able to give them outlets to be able to listen to music, or to be able to get it out in a way, maybe they paint it because they just don't know how to express it. And sometimes that can really help students to get it out. So there's, just telling them different ways that they can process their emotions, access their emotions, and understand their emotions so they can work through them and have a productive day.